In other news, this Wednesday afternoon, the first day of testimony wrapping up in the second trial for Austin police officer Christopher Taylor.
Now, the trial centers around the 2019 death of Mauris Desilva. And while Officer Taylor was indicted on a murder charge, we learned last week prosecutors are only pursuing the lesser charge of deadly conduct.
Taylor shot and killed Desilva at a downtown condo. At the time, Desilva was going through a mental health crisis. He was armed with a knife and threatening to harm himself. Officers told Desilva to drop the weapon, but when he did not follow their commands, Taylor fired his weapon.
KVUE's Malia Masamoto joined us now live from the Travis County Courthouse. And Malia, there was a little bit of back and forth between attorneys on the first day of this trial.
Yeah, definitely, Brian and Quita. They brought in the father of Mauris Desilva to testify first. They started getting into Desilva's background and mental health issues, but the defense kept objecting. Taylor's defense says it's not important to figure out what was going through Desilva's head during his mental health crisis, but to figure out if Officer Taylor was acting reasonably and prudently in defense. Now, on July 31st, 2019, Austin police officers responded to 911 calls in and around a downtown high-rise condo building. One call came from Desilva's neighbor who was concerned he was having a mental health episode. An APD officer testified today that in the past few months leading up to this incident, they responded to 2 emotionally disturbed person calls for Desilva. Now, on this 911 call, the neighbor asked several times for APD to send a mental health officer. Another 911 caller testified who saw Desilva in the street outside the condos holding a large kitchen knife up to his throat. The state focused on the fact that Officer Taylor and the other responding officers didn't ask witnesses more information once they got to the scene or try to figure out anything to de-escalate the situation, but just went straight to Desilva.
You're going to see that he was not taking in information, that he was not treating this as a person who was undergoing a profound mental health event and needed help like the people around him needed help. You're going to see that Christopher Taylor was essentially on a track, and that track was to confront Mr. Desilva.
Taylor's defense disputes the claim that Taylor was on a track to Desilva, but instead said he had to do what was necessary when put in a difficult situation.
Police are tasked with trying to help this individual if possible, but there's a limit, and there's a point at which a person becomes too dangerous and too threatening, and that threat has to be taken care of first before the individual can be helped. Officers did their best.
Now, just about 30 minutes ago, they wrapped up for the day. The attorneys were still in there, though, taking up some legal matters with the judge. But before they had wrapped, they were talking to a crime scene supervisor for the city of Austin who was showing some pictures of the crime scene of the hallway where Desilva was shot in that downtown condo building.